Hello, hello. Welcome back to the weekly Monday Motivation Podcast, No More Excuses. I am your host, Sandi Ballard, the super badass business coach. Why? Because I help people realize their badassness, people like you. I help you realize your badassness so you can do more, be more, and achieve more than you ever thought possible. Now, thanks for being here, for listening, for investing in you, and connecting with me on social media. And don't forget to check out my website, badassbusiness.coach, because there's the podcast, but also my swag store has badass swag, t-shirts, my online courses, and then there's other stuff like the DIY page has the worksheets and things you can download. And like last week, you were supposed to download your goal worksheet or at least create your own. And if you have not, get to my website right now. I know some of you may be driving, out walking, running, you may be on a bike or working out or whatever, or just sitting on your ass and somewhere staring and listening. And thank you for that. But make sure you make a note of it to go and get that worksheet. Why? Because goals without a plan are just a wish, and they're not going to achieve themselves. So if your goals and action steps, if your plan's not written down, you've got to get it out of your head and onto paper. And yes, that's what I help people do. So at least go get your freaking free worksheet. And if you can't figure it out, contact me, Sandi at sandiballard.com, Sandi with an I. I help people figure that out, right? That's what I do. And I also mentioned in last week's podcast, it's time to level up. The first quarter is all about getting our shit together and creating momentum to kick ass the rest of the year. How do you level up, you ask? Well, by stepping out of that comfy-fuzzy-slippered world and taking chances. Yes, and I also understand and have discussed, and I think in January, one of January's podcasts about seasonal depression, as winter can be cold and gray and legitimately affects people. So if you're ever going to get your ass in gear, now is the time. And trust me, talking about this helps me stay on top of my game as well. My 90-day goals are, see, I'm telling myself, the personal goal, of course, you're probably tired of hearing about it, but to get my running miles up. And the result, because last week was all about results, right? The result, I'll tighten up, the COVID knee sciatica, let's call 2020 a shit show fluff. I'll tighten up and I'll feel healthier. And professionally, my 90-day goal is to have successful Taboo Tribe events this month, the women's event. Sorry dudes, send your ladies. And it takes a lot of planning and marketing and help to make it happen. It takes a tribe, especially after the pandemic. And the result of having those amazing events, well, getting amazing badass women together, empowering them, and yes, maybe making a little money. I rarely make much off the events, but that will happen at some point. But, maybe getting a new coaching client. But the events aren't about that. It's about empowering the women, connecting them with others, having them connect themselves with others, and helping them personally and professionally. And the exclusive members breakfast and luncheon on top of the Bitches and Booze events are all the end of March in Indy. And I do have one in California tomorrow. So if you're in California and you're listening, tomorrow, 5:30 to 7 at Mama's on 39, right? Contact me. But they're really all about that and the results. So that's my 90-day goal, right? Personally and professionally. What about you? What's yours? What did you, say you wanted to achieve by the end of March? If shit went sideways on your 30 and 60-day goals, you've got to pay attention to those as well. Mine got off track a little bit. The gyms are still closed, and because of a slight stress fracture in my foot, it set me back on my running training. And professionally, I had to create my marketing plan, and and I rejoined. So to do that, I rejoined a networking organization called BNI, and I started finally meeting new business people. I've been more creative and intentional with my posts, and I've been expanding my offerings, including DISC assessments and other assessments. And some of you may not know yet, I do have a DIY goal setting and coaching course. You'll find those on my website. But it's been a tough year with the move and the pandemic last year, and it's kept me from meeting people to help expand my business and just my connections and ways to empower people. This year, my word of the year is empower, and I've got to do something to be able, I got to do something to meet people to have the ability to empower them. Hopefully, I'm empowering all of you by listening and having these podcasts, but I need to expand that, right? So what about you? My 30 and 60-day goals weren't 100% achieved. So I'm tweaking, I'm working on those and getting back on track because my 30 and 60-day goals directly affect my 90-day. And that's what you do. You keep building. You might modify the plan, but not the goal. Take chances. Last year, I took chances by adding guests on my podcast, and my downloads increased and expanded into countries. Two of my guests were overseas and are known nationally, and I'm now in 97 countries. I also, so if you're in one of those countries outside of the U.S., please message me. I love hearing from you. I love hearing from anyone, whether they're in the United States or not. And, I also took a chance by responding to a request that I got on LinkedIn, and it was just, I get solicited a lot on LinkedIn, so I sometimes just skim over stuff. But something made me stop that day. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't really know this guy. Who is this? What kind of podcast is this? And it was so much fun. It was just published, so you'll have to search for it. It's called Forged in the Fires. He does about 30-minute podcasts, and it was so much fun. And the host, Rob, he's amazing. He's a badass in his own right, so you've got to listen to it, not just because me, but subscribe to his podcast as well. Rob was, like I said, he's amazing, and he helped me realize that my path hasn't been as crazy as it seems. I've been coaching before I realized I was coaching. My women's community, the Taboo Tribe, was developing years ago before I had even thought about it, and I've taken chances. When you're focused on your goals, the little things come up like that you haven't thought of. I didn't write down on my sheet, interview podcast people. I didn't write down, be interviewed on someone else's podcast. But those things surfaced because I was focused on my goals and I was thinking about how to make that happen. So what is it that you want? Yes, last week was about identifying the results you want to help you get invested into your goals. The results I desire and envision are, personally, be in kick-ass shape, healthy, happy, pain-free, and debt-reduced. Professionally, increased income. That's the result. But that will come from my 4th book being published, the Taboo Tribe membership growing regularly, and having a full schedule of clients. And even some of those things, like a full schedule, is a result from completing my marketing plan. And the Taboo Tribe membership increasing is by living by my word of the year, empower. And it's all stemming from taking chances. When shit gets hard or off track, you can give up or you can get busy by taking chances. So last year, I took many chances by investing in new platforms for my clients, where they can house online their worksheets and create action steps and reminders and be held accountable even more outside of our coaching sessions. And a new platform for my online courses, and I rebranded. And my website, I created found a platform for the Taboo Tribe women to be able to connect globally. I took a chance last year by modifying my podcast plan and interviewing guests. I took a chance in January by paying a good amount to rejoin BNI, the networking organization, when my man Candy is laid off, and that was not in the budget. I took a chance last month by responding to a request on LinkedIn to be interviewed on a podcast and put my path out into public. I'm taking a chance now by signing up for and training again for a half marathon when the doctor said, I'm sorry, we can't fix your knee. You're going to need a full knee replacement. I'm going to continue to take chances by investing not just in myself, but my clients. Some things didn't work out. The first online course platform for my courses, I paid a ton for. I held free webinars, did a lot of marketing, and a few people did sign up. But the pandemic, it all launched right as the pandemic began, and people were like checked out, freaked out, not spending any money. But from that, I found the platforms I have now, and my clients love it, and it's so easy to use. So it's time to level up, people. And to do that, you must take chances. And yes, there's going to be some fear involved in that, but that's what it is all about life, right? So this week, I want to know, post here or email me, again, Sandi@sandiballard.com. What will you do that may scare the shit out of you a little bit, may piss off something or someone because you're spending a little money, but what will you do that's stepping out of your comfort zone that you will take a chance on? Contact me immediately if you just can't figure it out or aren't sure how to take that step. I will help you every step of the way. All right. Thank you again for being here, for listening, and let's all take chances together because we're in this together, right? Have a great week. Cheers.